Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to do some fact checking of some dismal Disney news, I think, in this video.
Yeah. See, like, people, if something's, we think something's true, we believe it, we'll say so. If something doesn't sound right, we're going to say so because we're trying to be fair here, and that's what we do. It's not always going to be confirmation bias, because then you're just being exactly what you complain about other places. So I don't think this is necessarily the case. The thing about Tinkerbell, Tinkerbell is problematic and woke because they got rid of her. We did a video before, but now there's some more information.
Yeah. And
still don't believe it.
everybody's running with this. They're all saying that Tinkerbell is getting, oh yeah, there's us. They're all saying that Tinkerbell is problematic and that Disney made a statement to get rid of Tinkerbell. All this because Tinkerbell was quietly removed from a meet and greet area that she normally was not in. They actually put her over in the the town hall theater.
Yeah, they had it after COVID. She was in Pixie Hollow, and I don't think they ever reopened Pixie Hollow at Walt Disney World. They just put her over in the at the theater or whatever, town hall theater. And then they got rid of her recently, but she's still in the park. She's still in the parade. She's still as part of the fireworks show. She still has a meet and greet at Disneyland. So if they were going to remove Tinkerbell because she was problematic, she would be removed everywhere, not just in one place.
We have this headline here. Disney removes problematic character from meet and greet, and no, it's not the park's cross-dressing evil queen. In recent years, they've have transvestites assuming the roles of, oh my God, that has nothing to do with Tinkerbell.
Okay, well, there was the whole evil queen.
That was the evil queen thing.
But the thing is, they've had male actors play villains that were female characters before.
I think Cruella, I think they've done Cruella before.
You don't usually see it in meet and greets because you don't see it up close. It's usually characters that are in a parade or farther. Yes. But the Tinkerbell thing is neither. That's not that.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about this because what's going on, in my opinion, is we have a lot of people talking about Disney, the ins and outs of Disney that normally don't talk about Disney because they haven't been paying attention to Disney. But now that Disney's in the middle of a culture war, now everybody wants to chime in on Disney, and a lot of the stuff they're saying, oh my God, Disney did this for that and this. It's like, no, it's actually always kind of been that way.
And Disney's bad news gets clicks.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. I mean, that's the sad thing about it is like Disney is in such a place right now that no matter how ridiculous the story is, people will automatically assume the worst because they've done stupid shit.
And like, we're the people that call it dismal Disney, but we only are going to call it dismal Disney if it's legitimately dismal Disney.
So let's talk about this because I do not believe this is the case. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Get woohoo if you do. Woohoo. So to back this up, this all started with Inside the Magic.
Well, actually, before that, it started with New York Times.
New York Times. Okay, so like what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, so 2 years ago, New York Times put out an article, and they were talking about the story group at Disney. Now, to be fair, some of the things they were talking about were true. The story group was trying to find problematic things because they were really doubling, tripling down on DEI crap back then. They've walked back a lot of that, but they have made some changes. I do believe they're going to probably try to change Peter Pan. They've already changed Jungle Cruise.
There are permits filed for that, I think, for the ride. Yeah,
there's permits filed for set pieces and stuff. They're not explaining what, but it's possible they're taking out the problematic element that is the Native American
That's
area.
what I think they're gonna take. Yeah, that's
it's like Tiger Lily and Friends. But like we saw, Splash Mountain got changed, Jungle Cruise got changed. There was a lot. There were rides. Jessica Rabbit, which we're going to talk about later, got changed. Yeah, that was true. There were some things being slated for change. They keep saying about Tinkerbell. We're going to talk about this quote that's going around, and that Tinkerbell, with the way she's dressed and how it's, she belongs to Peter Pan and all this other stuff. No, they made sure when they did the Pixie movies, Tinkerbell movies with Tinkerbell and her friends, that they undid that.
Yes.
Anyway, so continue. And then Inside the Magic got it.
Inside the Magic dredged this up because in February, they quietly removed Tinkerbell from the meet and greet area. Now, that particular version of Tinkerbell was from the Disney Fairies movies, and she even had some of the props from Pixie Hollow. It seemed like it was a temporary thing post-COVID. That being said, she is still in a meet and greet in Pixie Hollow.
They still have Pixie Hollow in
Disneyland. And the way things are, I would, if they're doing it for wokeness, I would absolutely positively expect Disneyland to get rid of something first.
If they took her out of Disney World for that reason, they would have taken her out of Disneyland.
They would have shut down Pixie Hollow and turned it into something else.
Okay, so now there's this weird quote that's going around, which I'm going to tell you, I cannot find a reputable source for this. That would have been a Disney source anywhere.
There's another website that said that they cannot find it either, and it doesn't sound like something that came from
No,
Disney.
there's several things here that immediately catch my attention. Go ahead and read it first, and I'll talk about what caught my attention.
This is supposed to be doubling down on the Tinkerbell drama. This is a supposed Disney rep saying, and this is after they just got done saying she's in the park, plenty of other places. The alleged quote reads, Tinkerbell unfortunately has become an problematic image for our guests, specifically young girls, specifically in terms of the portrayal of an unrealistic body image as well as dependency of approval and or attention from Peter Pan as seen in previous incarnations of the character. We feel these traits are no longer representative of our inclusive, focused values and thus are currently in process of redesigning an updated Tinkerbell for modern audiences.
They might be redesigning Tinkerbell. That could be possible. They're trying to get her a new costume.
She'll be wearing sweats.
But okay. So a couple things here that catch my attention. Now, keep in mind, we actually worked with Disney. We actually did stories for Disney. We were actually part of the PR. So we know what they look for.
I was almost hired to work on the Tinkerbell comics. I'm not kidding.
We know what they look for and what will set them off and what will never make it into one of their announcements. Because you have to remember, they run it past so many people have to sign off on something before it gets posted. And if you're a blogger and you're one of their bloggers, if you do something wrong, they'll get a hold of you and tell you. And right off the bat, Tinkerbell's 2 words, not 1.
Yes. They will call your ass out for this. In fact, you put on Twitter, you're talking about it. Disney, in an official release, any official capacity, any statement like this on behalf of the company, they will run it through a gauntlet of people to make sure
there's
everything.
No errors.
And there are plenty of grammatical errors in this, by the way.
You wouldn't say specifically and then specifically again right after it.
Well, just the grammar's wrong.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Become an problematic image, no longer representative.
Disney representative, maybe, possibly. May means maybe.
Like if you said, hey, there's a new ride coming to Animal Kingdom, they will say, no, the new ride is coming to Disney's Animal Kingdom Park.
Right.
Trademark, copyright, whatever.
They will do that. I doubt very much. I mean, this being said, they'll probably be like, well, it's somebody else who said it on the download, didn't go through Disney. And that's possible. They could be redesigning her outfit for, and stuff like that. That's possible. But I don't believe that this is the actual stance of Disney because, one, Disney's not going to disparage their own characters and movies and stuff and their own. They might say, oh, it was from a different time period or something, but they're not going to turn around and say some of these things that they're saying. Yeah,
and again, this shows a lack of familiarity with the meet and greet system, how it works. They use the meet and greets to promote products. It was all about Disney Fairies, which is no longer a thing, and we'll talk about that. I cannot believe, mark it on your calendar. I cannot believe I'm actually agreeing with the Mary Sue, but they put an article out there talking about it because everybody else is talking about it, and they basically said, while Peter Pan has its problems, the whole purpose of Disney Fairies was to take Tinkerbell out of the Peter Pan situation, give her some friends, and give her agency.
Exactly, which is what I said as well. And it's true. That's what it was for.
Right. And so they already been there, done that. They've done it. They made sure they had one of every kind of possible person ever in the Disney Fairy thing. And that was the reason behind it. Like I can tell you, somebody who got pretty close to working on those books. It's a long story, but the thought process was they wanted to pull her away from Peter Pan. Because she is popular. She's an incredibly popular, bankable, marketable character.
The dolls and stuff still sell like hotcakes. But anyway, so I brought up that. I brought up that they wouldn't have her in one place, and they were pulling her for problematic reasons. She'd be pulled across the board. She wouldn't be still available in the parades and other parks. They said they wouldn't put a statement out calling her problematic publicly. They might feel that way behind the scenes, but they're not going to do that publicly. We talked about how she already had her agency.
Yes.
And then I mentioned where it came from. But I said we couldn't find a reputable source. Now, if you go down, I do mention Jessica Rabbit. They said they're redoing her, okay? That's a possibility. But in the case of Jessica Rabbit in the Roger Rabbit ride at Disneyland, they removed her from the ride, and when they brought her back, scroll down, they took her out of the trunk, and now she's in a detective coat and hat herself, and they just gave her more clothes and made her part of the story where she was, had more agency and wasn't just the damsel in distress.
Yeah.
But they put her back in. They didn't just get rid of her.
No, and again, Tinkerbell, I mean, they might tinker with Tinkerbell, but that was the purpose of Disney Fairies, was to change, so people, they were hoping, I think, that people would identify Tinkerbell more with Disney Fairies than they did with Peter Pan. But, where he just spanks her on the ass. And
which they do. I mean,
a temper tantrum.
I know. They did. Because after the Disney Fairy shows, Pixie Hollow was incredibly popular.
It was.
You would wait forever to get into it. Because our daughter Pinky Boo loved Tinkerbell. Loved Tinkerbell. So had dolls, had all the DVDs. We still have the DVDs.
She looks high in this picture.
She does look high. But I'm just like, I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I just don't buy it.
No, and they had a statement they put out just in February, after people were concerned that they took her out of the meet and greet, that she is still in plenty of other areas. She's in parades.
They're not getting rid of her. They just took her out of that because they rotate characters.
And they do this all the time. That's like, okay, so they have a Wreck-It Ralph Blu-ray out. Well, they took Ralph out of Epcot or whatever. Does that mean, oh my God, they're canceling Wreck-It Ralph? Well, no, they just don't have any shit to sell with Ralph.
They put Figment in instead, or I think the Inside Out characters in there before too. They just change them by what they're trying to promote.
Yeah, and the Mary Sue, actually, I can't believe I'm agreeing with them, but this was the motivation behind the Disney Fairies thing. They said Disney rehabbed Tinkerbell in recent years, giving her a series of movies on Disney Plus. Actually, it was more than that. It was a whole publishing initiative, and they were trying to basically take Tinkerbell away from Peter Pan, because even back then, in 2006, 2007, Peter Pan was considered problematic before the Stories Matter thing happened. They said that she was an inquisitive inventor, which is why they call her Tinker, because they never explained it in the movie.
She came from a bell, there was a sound of a bell, Tinker Bell.
Yes, Tinker Bell. And so was she removed because of her problematic portrayal in Peter Pan? Given the fact the character is currently leading her own franchise, the fact the franchise has radically reinvented the character, it's not likely.
I agree. I agree with the Mary Sue.
I can't believe I agree with the Mary Sue.
But you take it, you can believe what you want to believe. And if we find out where this came from and it's actually Disney, I'm going to be very surprised, because their standards have fallen
English
drastically.
So
but I personally don't believe it. Knowing what I've done, being in and around what we've done, having dealt with Disney PR ourselves, and knowing how they are about this stuff, I find it highly unlikely.
Yeah, this is coming from EV Magazine, and they said the statement by the mysterious rep is nowhere to be found.
Exactly. You cannot find it in any reputable source.
But people are writing freaking articles on it and doing videos on it. It's like, source this shit. So here's my thing. Like, and this is a weird thing. It's become a very partisan issue, and it's believable because Disney has pulled stupid shit like this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not dissing people for believe it, because I get why people believe it. It's completely believable.
Right.
I totally understand where people are coming from on this.
But I do not believe in it. It's just like the tall tale keeps growing, and part of me is like, did somebody put this out there just to see if the right wing media would eat it up? Because
I don't know if it was
the Daily Wire's got articles on it.
I don't know if they put it for that reason, but I definitely put it out there and just said Disney representative to see what would happen. Like, I should put down, oh my gosh, don't ever watch Clownfish TV because we hate them because they're right all the time. They make us look bad, Bob Iger, and see if people would believe it. Or put Disney representative.
Oh, he's totally on 4chan trashing us, Bob Iger.
I know, right?
You know he is, because he's, but yeah, I think it's a weird. This is a very weird situation, and I can't believe that it actually got this far. But again, this is Disney's reputation. Well,
the quote anyway, I do not believe is the actual Disney quote.
That's not from Disney. That's in English. That's not even.
Tinkerbell's 2 words.
No,
that is the official Disney. If you go down some more on mine, oh wait, I didn't put it in here, did I? No, I actually had it in the other article or the other thing on Twitter. It's their official. Tinkerbell is the official Disney spelling is 2 words.
Yes. So, which I actually got that wrong before, but
I have too. That's why I know it's 2 words, because I've had to look it up repeatedly.
Anyway, so there we go, guys. We'll see if the legend of problematic Tink keeps growing, especially with them potentially closing down Peter Pan for refurb.
They might have to bring her back just because people are having a hissy fit.
I think they might. I actually could
totally shut this shit down.
Yeah, they might do it. So we're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.